Hello everyone, welcome back to Akane-banashi, Season 1, Episode 9. Last episode we had we're still doing the tournament of the Kataku Cup. And last time we had, can I remember his name? Neri Maya? He has a more simple name that is even more iconic. But I can't remember what it is. But I'm looking at my notes now. Karashi is his other name. And we got to see his performance. He had a solid performance. It was very fun to watch. And now this episode we're going to be seeing Hiragi. Is that her name? Now I look at my notes again. Is she gonna pop up on my notes there? I didn't note her last episode, but I probably noted her the episode before. So let me just go to the episode before and get the answer to this. Hikaru. Hikaru Kiragi. Did I fuse her two names? Her name is Hikaru Kiragi. Which I'm really excited about because I like that character so far. And I mean, I like pretty women, and she is a pretty woman. So I'm really excited to see her performance, to see how like what kind of performance she puts together. My guess last week was that like she's gonna be really good at embodying the characters. Like she's gonna have a very distinct voice for each of the characters, and it's gonna make it really easy to get immersed within the story and be like drawn into it. That's what I'm guessing, but we'll see. Make sure to support the video if you can, liking the video, commenting down below, subscribing to the channel. All that stuff helps me out a ton. And go to my Patreon account if you want the full-length reaction, early access, exclusive videos for lots of shows on this channel. You can get the next 10 episodes of Naruto on my Patreon account, or just check out my Naruto reactions right now. They're very good. Let's jump into this Akane-banashi episode 9. Okay, this is their voice acting. Oh, cool. Getting to see the... Nice. This is cool watching this. It's cool how they actually like did this animation. That was really fun to watch. You should eat though, girl. Eating's very important. Ooh, the sound. She looks like when she was doing that, she looks like the girl from Bleach. And keep in mind, I haven't seen Bleach. Are people gonna be kind of against her because she's a voice actress? You don't know if she's into Rakugo or not. So like true Rakugo fans might hate her because it's like, oh, she's like a tourist coming into our profession. That's true. I'm really excited to see this. Well, she's jumping right into it. This story. I love when they do that. They do the knocking with the sound while they do that. That's really cool. Shibahama. Okay. Right. Right. It's brave. She's definitely a good actor. Oh, people are drawn in. She's really leaning into the emotion of it. Look at this. Yeah, I was gonna say, I doubt the original story had that much of a monologue. Yep, makes sense. I love her hair. She's got a cute haircut.
少しずつ仕事も増えて役の幅も広がって
Mm-hmm.
これで
ヒカルちゃんみたいなルックスだったらな。言えてる。絶対有利だよね。
Right.
ビジュアルいい方がファンも喜ぶし。
She's anxious that she doesn't have the,
そりゃ人気も出るよね。
you know, that people don't think she has the chops. If she survives in Rakugo,
けど
she could prove her actual talent, you know?
といったような理由でやはり落語は難しい。
And they told her, don't do it.
コレンさん、エデンスノバという代表作を得たのに何も今。
It's not about if she has
そ
to
れ
or
は
not.
作品が評価されたのであって私は演者コーラギヒカルとして自
Right?
分の力を試し
So
た
it's not even, yeah, really about Rakugo.
彼女の演
It's
技
about her
力は
acting.
私も認めている。落語は物語をすべて一人で喋るわけ。一人のキャラを演じるのとは全く別
So,
物。
but she's making it more of a
今
monologue.
のままでも十分仕事はあるのに。
冷静にならんね、ヒカル。私は東京の女。感触だ。 雑にせん
I like when we see bits of her real personality.
できる。
私はこんなもんじゃなかろうが
Yeah, she's working hard on it.
武器は容姿でも演技力でもない。
It's her dedication.
目標のためになりふり構わず突き進む。
たまんねえや。
She's got such a pretty character design.
優勝するのは
私のお釈じゃいけなかった
コーラギヒカルです。
It'd be nice to be able to root for her, but I want Akane to destroy everyone. But I want Hikaru to be our friend afterwards. I love her.
今日一の完成。
Well, she had a fan base already.
そして荒川一生。
Man, Arakawa might
6年前に取材した新
Might hate it.
と同じだ。例の騒動が起きた。
ありがとうございました。
uh
今回も何か起きるんじゃ。
No, I don't think it's gonna be the
ご覧になってい
same
かがでしたか？
ferocity.
私は学生が芝浜を演じるべきではないと考えています。
Uh-huh.
また登場人物の感情の機微を伝えられるだけの技量がないと面白く聞けない。
Oh, but she did do that? Is that what
学
you're
生が
saying?
演じるには非常に難しい話だ。妻の心情を描ききってみせた。
Okay.
あなたの表現者としての能力の高さに大変
Alright.
驚かされました。
一生師匠ありがとうございました。
I like the little bits of criticism he puts in there. Like, it was a little bit dramatic, but blah, blah, blah. You know, he was like, you pushed it a little too far, but overall it was good, you know? He feels like a very realistic character to me.
最初の方少し声上ずっとったし喋るテンポも早かったじゃない
I did think you were talking a little too fast at the start. I agree with
少し待たれ
that.
べきやったな
Those cheers were all for you. You were solo on that stage. Aww. Oh, I love her.
強いのも俺に次いで2位なら大健闘でしょ。大したもんだよ。あ、もう終わったようなもんだ。
Come on, Akane.
またそんな失礼なことを。それにこの後はあのジュゲムの。
Okay, next up is Akane. Are we gonna get any in this episode?
俺の改作と声優ちゃんの人情話で客はもう
They're full.
だ。なるとあとは消化試合。しかも次の演目はジュゲム。どっちが優勝するかだ。わか
I
った
mean,
ろ
yeah, it is tough to
今年の
follow
から
those two.
もう終わってんだよ。
In a way, I think he's kind of right.
次女子高生？
Are we gonna see her performance today? That would be awesome.
この
Please.
空気やばいっすね、兄さん。兄さん。 先生も。
No, we probably won't if they're doing this other stuff.
しかもそれがまかり通るなんて。学生のレベルが想像以上に高かった。
Is he gonna say, don't do Jugimu?
それにあの空気だ。無茶して怪我しないよう言った
I
方
feel
が
like
いい。
you're gonna walk in and see she's fine. Aw.
一見いつもと変わら
Yeah,
ない
right now she seems okay.
本当変な感じなんですよ。夫
This
にしたことは許せない。落語家を目指すのにあれを認められないのはダサいよなって思っちゃった。
Uh-huh. You know he's fucking talented.
なんで夫を破門にしたのか、その理由を知って、ちゃんと前に進みたいんです。
Okay. She's so cute, man.
あの男に見せておいで。
Okay, are we getting it now? Please.
落語を。
Please. I think we're getting it now.
出場者は
Oh,
茜さんです。
I'm so excited.
よし。
Because we don't need to hear the whole story. We've heard it before.
観客は前2人の講座を見て、この大会のピークは過ぎたと思ってる。盛り上がりきって。
That woman in the audience is very cute.
かくばかり偽り多き世の中にこの可愛さは誠なりけり。
And people are gonna start to realize it's the same story.
子供の可愛さなんてのは持ってみないとわからないんだ。名付け親になってほら、そんなことが随分とあったんだそうです。
That
お
expression.
前さ、行かないだろ？まあそうだけどよ。そうだ。
I'm so nervous.
名前をつけてもらってきておくれよ。
会場の空気見て勝てないと分かったんだ。
I don't know. She might be like
にしてもこんなに手抜くかね。
playing into the energy for now, and then we'll take him off guard.
明日は師匠の名に恥じない落語をしないと。
あげん言いよったとに
No.
簡単に勝負が投げるやろか。
お嬢さんは物知り。
Good thing is she's not like rushing it or
いい名
anything.
前を考えてくれる。
そう見えます。
What's the expression?
こういうのが好きなのか？
作業中に流してみるアニメとかラジオ。
Oh, it's like relaxing? She is matching the vibe, I think.
確かに。周りもリラックスしてきて。
Yeah, it makes sense.
お客さんを引きつけること。ただ押せばいいってもんじゃ。肝心なのは相手に合わせた。
Oh, cute example.
大会というよりはまるで
They're just enjoying the Rakugo.
なんで
You know?
昨日みたいに熱演って感じでやら
I think they're not even thinking about her talent, they're just enjoying it.
あれぐらいの少し冷めてるトーンが心地いい。熱くやればいいってもんじゃないんだよね。
This is cool.
臨機応変。
気を回して動く。ただの気働きさ。
Okay.
目の前のお客さんを喜ぶ。
But she hasn't gotten up to the enunciation
あくま
parts
で
yet,
落語
right?
として挑むってわけだ。舞台は整った。
Don't end the episode!
それで
Oh no, we're getting up to the Jugemu! They're gonna leave us on a cliffhanger! No! No! God damn it, I almost wish I didn't watch it this week so I could watch it next week back to back. Oh, I can't believe the cliffhanger, man. Oh man, you know what? I was begging it, like in the second half of this episode, I was like, please just show me like a bit of the performance. Just like, I want to watch it now. I want a bit of the performance now. And I regret that so much now. I wish I didn't see any of it. I would have rather have waited because now I'm so impatient for next episode. But I do love a good cliffhanger. Because, you know, cliffhangers are really good because I like the feeling of I want to watch the next episode now. Because, like, also, you know, to tell myself to sit down and watch an episode of something, there's like a little like psychological hurdle I have to overcome sometimes of like this channel luckily is a good psychological hurdle where I'm like, I have to record this video today, so I need to do it. But like, you know, sometimes when there's shows that I don't need to do, it's difficult for me to make myself watch it. And cliffhangers are a really good way to do that. So like the shows that I've loved the most, like I've finished an episode and I've been like, I need to watch the next episode right now. I need to see what happens. And so yeah, that the cliffhangers are good to help me get over that feeling of like, do I feel like watching it right now? Like if there was another Akane-banashi episode, I'd be watching it right the fuck now, you know? Like it's lunchtime right now. I should be going and having lunch. I would delay lunch, even though it's funny in this video I said you have to eat something, girl, you can't. You know, I was scolding her for not eating. I would have delayed lunch by an hour to watch another episode of Akane-banashi easily, because I really want to see this damn performance. But it just means I'll be more excited for next week. It's something to look forward to next week. Because like it's really cool. I like the way this show has such a great vibe to it, and I love seeing the different like performances and the different ways that they have to like play to their audience. It's really cool seeing this writer you know, come up with different ways that a performance should go and how you adjust to it. Like, that's the thing about like any sort of sports anime type stuff, is like when I'm watching them, I'm always thinking that, man, the writer has to try to come up with like unique stuff in the same ballpark constantly. And I mean, at least in Rakugo you can have different stories, so like that might help. But like, you know, when I think of like Haikyuu, I think like, how many different ways can you surprise us in volleyball? You know, like we're at the point in Haikyuu now where like I don't expect I'm gonna see something I haven't seen before in the show. It's just like, which things are we gonna see in this match specifically? But like I feel like they've done like the stuff that that you would like anticipate as being something like a new experience for you to watch. A game, like a crazy game save, someone running like out of the court to save something, someone blocking a powerhouse spiker, a block that like changes its thing at the last second, a victory that comes off of the tips of the fingers, like hitting against the block purposefully to hit off the tips of their fingers. Like, you know, there's like a lot of little tricks in volleyball. But at this point, the series has gone on long enough that we've seen a lot of them, if not all of them. So it's like, how much more can we see? And I feel bad for the writers sometimes having to come up with like completely new stuff while still being in the realm of volleyball. And I'm feeling like this for this series is like, you have to come up with different ways that people do these performances and like different obstacles for them to overcome, all within the realm of Rakugo. And so like this is really cool, where it's like there's two people who were both really great, and like I agree with what Kadashi was saying, which is like they just watched two great performances, and like they were both like, one was really funny, one was really emotional. Like they've run the gamut. They now they now are like very satisfied and happy. But then it's really cool seeing Akane's solution to that, which is like, let's just chill out. Like, let's just give the people something that they want, and will be nice and will not be overstimulating, won't be too try hard, you know? Like, it's just, and like I loved that reporter woman who was like saying, yeah, I don't know if I'm necessarily liking it. All I know is it reminds me of when I have like a video or a podcast or whatever on my second screen while I'm working. And like, yes, man, I relate to that so much. It's just like there are certain things games that I call podcast games, which is like games that like accompanied, if you accompany it with a second screen experience, it's like the perfect. So like Minecraft, I think, is like the GOAT podcast game. When you're having a Minecraft phase, you know. And the thing with Minecraft is, I tend to play it like obsessively for a month or whatever, and then I don't pick it up again for another year and a half or whatever. And then I might play it, start a new world, and play it obsessively. So like that's the thing with Minecraft. But it's the sort of thing like you don't need to be immersed in the game's world. You don't need to have the audio of the game really loud or be focused on reading anything in the game. You can just like mindlessly do stuff, and it's a great chance for you to, on your other screen, have a podcast on, have a video on, have a TV show on that you can sort of like half pay attention to. Have you know, for me, like I might have like Critical Role on the other screen, right? So I'm listening to Critical Role. And you know, there are several games like that, but it's kind of hard to find a specific podcast game. Basically, if I'm playing the game, and then at some point I'm like, hang on, I haven't been listening to my second screen thing for the past like 5 minutes. If that happens at any point, then it's not really a good podcast game generally. Uma Musume is a great podcast game. An excellent fucking podcast game. I love playing Uma Musume while listening to something. So So like what she was doing was she was creating the podcast for people to like, if people wanted to play Minecraft in that audience right then and there, they would do it and they would be so happy. They would be incredibly happy that all of their senses were being engaged. They could immerse themselves within her story and whatever. But like if Karashi was performing or Hikaru was performing, like they'd kind of want to pause the game and focus on it, you know? Like they'd want, because like also sometimes you have like gaming, like if you have podcast games, sometimes the podcast itself is important. I wouldn't do that if it was my first time watching Breaking Bad. I wouldn't have that on my second monitor. You can't do that for a show like that. Like you need to be paying attention to what's happening on screen for something like that, you know? But like if you're watching The Office or something, that's fine, you know? Like you can sort of take it in passively a little bit. And so you know, you have to do a very specific type of performance for people to feel comfortable enough to like almost zone out, but actually they're kind of just getting immersed in it, but like it's just letting them relax, and there's no like pressure to, it's not like she's trying so hard to make them laugh that they have to performatively laugh, because that's also a thing about live performances. I don't love going to stand-up shows, especially for smaller stand-up comedians, because like I start to feel pressure to like, if I find something funny, to like laugh at it, because the comedian can see me, like they're looking at me, you know? And I don't like that feeling of like feeling like I have to laugh. Now, luckily, the bigger the comedian is, the less that's an issue. Like, I don't worry about that if I'm going to see, like if I went to see, like, John Mulaney or, like, Gianmarco, whatever his name is. Like, these, you know, big stand-up comedians. Like, they would have a significant audience, and I wouldn't feel, unless I was sitting, like, in the very front row, I wouldn't feel as obliged to it. Like I love going to Auntie Donna shows. They're an Australian sketch comedy group, and they're very, very funny. And I've gone to a lot of their live shows, and that feels comfortable because there's huge audiences, and I just like, yeah, it's fine. But the thing is, like Akane, the way she's doing this performance, I think it feels like it takes a lot of the pressure off of. Where like, yeah, they might chuckle or whatever, but it doesn't feel like she's right now playing heavily for the laughs. Now, we haven't gotten to the bit that's full of laughs yet, so we'll see. But I mean, there were definitely some jokes in that opening bit. But the Jugemu bit is really what I'm very curious about. So like in the first one, she leaned into the enunciation and going really fast, right? And like, so she was just impressing people with the pure talent of how well she could do the Jugemu bit. Now, what is she going to do? Is she going to have a huge contrast? If she's going to do it fast again, but this one, the reason she's going fast is because she needs a contrast between the relaxing part of the story and like I think it would be very funny if it's like she's just telling the story very casually, and then once she gets up to the name, and then she goes back to the slow pace, you know, like that there might be some good humor to the way she's doing that. Or is she actually going to like chill out a bit? Jugemu, ba 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 ba. Like she just does that. Because like it's, you know, because like also it could be very funny if she's doing it kind of slow paced, but because it's like slow paced, it really makes you realize how long the name is because you're like waiting for it to finish. I think that would be a good take on the performance. Is like you're doing it, you know, instead of going supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, you're going supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Like if you're doing it slow enough, then it really like extends the name, and like makes you realize how fucking long it is. Floxinoxinhilipilification. Instead of going floxinoxinhilipilification. So yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of different ways you could do it. I'm so curious to see how she does it. But anyway, I loved this episode, and I loved seeing Hikaru's performance. And so it seems like, you know, she'd gotten by, like, because she was a very talented voice actress, but a lot of people were like, yeah, but you're also like fucking gorgeous, and so you're cruising on your looks, which, like, that's the thing, is like, it's it's not that she's not incredibly talented, it's that she's incredibly talented, and on top of that she has this other advantage, you know. And I think, like, that does help people. Now with white people like myself, I'm technically mixed race, but I'm definitely white presenting. For white people, that's what we benefit from a lot of the time, is like, you might have people you might be equally qualified with someone else, and people might think of it as, well, like, or they won't think this, but it might be subconsciously like, well, he's equally qualified, and also I'm comfortable around him, aka he's a white guy. So like, so even if I'm equally qualified with someone else, I have the privilege advantage, and I get ahead in the race because of that. But I mean, I'm gonna flip that for a second, and because I'm gonna relate this to a real life experience, where not being white, I think has helped. And I'm going to try to make sure not to disparage this person at all, because absolutely they deserve no disparagement. But there's a woman that I went to acting classes with as I was growing up, is quite successful now. She is in The Pit. She's in the TV show The Pit, right? And I have always said, like, before she had gotten like big parts or whatever, I had always said to people that, like, she was the most talented person I've ever met in my life, because she's not only like an incredible actress, but she also was like incredibly charismatic and funny, like really easy to talk to. She's a very good looking woman, and she like did this sort of comedy performances with her friend that was always very funny. Like, there was so much that she had going for her, and I mean, her talent was in fucking incredible. Like, absolutely, she always stood out to me in all of the classes we were in. And that's not just me saying this in hindsight. I said it for many years at the time, and I think a lot of people in the class felt it as well, you know. And I remember, because her and I went to the same acting agency, and I remember doing a class with that agency once I had just signed up for it, and she had just signed up for that agency, and we coincidentally got in the same class of 4 people. There was 4 people in the class, and we, was it 4 or 3? Anyway, there were very few people in the class. I think it was 4. And I remember her talking about to the agent, I'm a little anxious because I'm worried that because I'm a brown girl, I'm not going to get as many parts, so I won't be able to succeed in this business because of my skin color. And the agent said that like, I actually believe that you will get more parts because of this, because like, people are looking for that right now, and so they're looking for people who they might be looking for brown girls, and they're also, you know, looking for talent. And so, like, since you check both of those boxes, you might I think you'll succeed more. Now, like, I'm not saying in any way that she's succeeding because she's a brown girl. Absolutely not. As I said, she's the most talented fucking person I have ever met in my life. She is succeeding because she is fucking talented and charismatic and easy to watch. And like, everything about her, and I mean, good looking on top of that, everything about her works really nicely for her. But what I am saying is that I do think, like, having that extra thing in Hikaru in this show's in her experience, it's her looks, her good looks, right? having that extra thing will just like put you that edge above the competition, because a lot of people are talented in this world, you know? A lot of people work very hard. So it's like if you are people casting for a show and you're like, oh, these people are all talented, but Hikaru also looks beautiful. So she, so we're going to choose her because in the press and stuff, we're going to get more people, in like, you know, more people engaging with her content. And, you know, maybe with my friend, if it's like, oh, there are a lot of incredibly talented people, a lot of people who can do these comedy lines amazingly, these drama lines amazingly, who can do an American accent, all of that. But then also this girl, being a brown girl, might help with our representation. It might help us to get more unique experiences onto the show. I haven't really watched The Pit, but I do know that there's several brown girls on The Pit. So I think like, it's they probably want to represent those experiences more on the show, so it might have helped her more. I think. I mean, also I think the character's name is Javadi or whatever. Shabana Aziz. I mean, there's no. It'd be easy to find out who I'm talking about. The actress's name is Shabana. I think her character's name is Javadi or something, which is like obviously not a very white name. So I'm sure they probably wrote it for a brown girl anyway. But, you know, that's what I'm saying, is that, like, I if she was just a white girl, she probably would have gotten other parts. She wouldn't have gotten that part on an extremely popular fucking TV show, you know? So yeah, all this to say, I think what Hikaru is worried about makes a lot of sense to me, because she would be worried about, am I just getting this because of my looks? And I'm thinking, no, that's not the case. You're not just getting this because of your looks. You are incredibly talented, but your looks, like the other girls, are kind of right in that the looks are definitely helping. But I can see why she would then want to go into something like Rakugo, where that would propel her forward. Where people would only be judging her based on, or mostly be judging her based on her talent. I'm not going to say only, but someone like Isho Arakawa would only be judging her based on her performance. Like, that guy's not going to be like, and also you're hot, so you do better. Like, he might be condescending about her looks maybe at some point, but I think he's the sort of person who he tries to recognize a good performance when it's a good performance, regardless of who it comes from. So, yeah, man, what a great episode. That was Akane-banashi episode 9. Support the video if you can, liking, commenting, and subscribing, and go to my Patreon account for full-length early access and exclusive videos. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.